Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Let's hope everything's working. And then we will begin. Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to the Boxsmith Live Show, brought to you by Boxsmith Workshop, your one-stop shop for all of your cardboard-related needs. I am your host with the most, Jeb the Boxsmith, the cardboard king of the Western Wing. Welcome to the show. If you're joining us here for the first time, watching live from the VOD, just know it's super happy to see all of you. I'm glad that you're here. Some ground rules before we start. 1. Contrary to my scripted content, this is an uncensored show. We're complying with community guidelines, but at the bare minimum, expect a little bit of profanity. Hot glue guns hurt when they burn you. Sue me. 2. We are all misfits and weirdos here, bonded together by hot glue over our love of cardboard and related things. If you feel comfortable nowhere else, you will feel comfortable here. That is my promise to you, my friends. This is the Boxsmith Live Show. We clown in this motherfucker. And lastly, but certainly not least, do not look the directly into the eye. And without further ado, let the Pandemonium Panopticon proceed. Alrighty then, my dear adventurers. Today I've got something pretty neat to show you. This is another oldie but a goodie. Today we're going to be showing you all how to make a proper hammer. Because every boxsmith needs a good hammer. One of the essentials of a boxsmith's arsenal. This one's mine. Hang on. I really gotta update these hotkeys I've got. This hammer is mine. There are many like it, but this one is mine. This is my hammer. And by the end of this stream, you will know how to make your very own. Or at the very least, you will have the tools to do it yourself. That is the end goal here today. It'll also be a good lesson in the art of advanced spines. So I'm very happy for that and excited that you're going to see that. So without further ado, let us begin. The way that a lot of these templates that I've made here work is that you want to take all of the pieces and spread them out, and they all connect by certain excuse me. They all connect by certain lines. So it's kind of like a puzzle before a puzzle. So, let's go and assemble the different pieces to start. I recently saw the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It was amazing. Best thing Marvel has made in years as far as I'm concerned. Ah, we got a match. Excellent. Let me just take some... Oh. Tape. Tape is a very useful tool for template assembly because it allows you to, especially masking tape. I love masking tape so much because it's just sticky enough that it'll stick to paper and cardboard, but not too sticky that it'll super easily tear it once you're done using it. So it's a great temporary adhesive. So you just put it on there like that, make sure everything's lined up properly, and you're good to go. It's also kind of translucent, so you can still see lines a bit underneath it. So that's very neat. Later on today, I have a little announcement that I want to share with all of you. So that's going to be fun. Do me a favor, y'all, and ask me a burning do me a favor and answer a burning question for me, all of you. What is your go-to caffeine source? Are you a coffee person? Tea? Soda? Energy drink? What suits all of your fancies? That's what I want to know. Me personally, it depends entirely upon the tide of the day. In the morning, I like a nice little cup of coffee, but coffee is like a shotgun blast for me. Very powerful, makes me very jittery, makes it a bit hard to focus. So what I like to do instead is drink espresso, spicy coffee, and somehow, I'm not entirely sure how the science behind it works, but the extra strong stuff, instead of making it scatterbrained even more, it increases my focus. So, like a normal coffee is good to just get me through the day. But if I have something that really requires a whole lot of my attention, espresso time. That's what it is. For short bursts of energy, like streaming or other things that require bursts of energy like that, that's why I like a good, like, soda or something like that. It's very convenient. I'm going to need more masking tape soon, I can tell. I gotta say, though, this roll has lasted me a very long time, though. When I first cracked this thing open, it was roughly yay big on all sides, so it's lasted me the better half of a year, I'd say. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. There's no real need to be nice and neat for how you apply the tape here, because it's gonna be coming off pretty soon anyways. So you need not worry about it. I think I put that a little bit too close. That's fine. It's an easy fix, like I said. The Guardians of the Galaxy movie was really good, but at the very end of it, it gave me an existential crisis. Because, not necessarily a spoiler, because that's something they do at the end of every Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but one of the characters gets a MP3 player and starts playing a new generation of music, and the genre, the generation of music that the character chose were the 2000s, and it made me realize, holy shit, I was born in the 2000s. The generation of music that I heard when I first spawned in on this map is now approaching the time where it becomes nostalgically profitable. I'm becoming the new millennials. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's wild. The time is flying before my very eyes. In all honesty, I don't really have a big problem with that. It's just, Whoa, you know what I'm saying? Just puts in perspective how time changes. You must understand that mechanical hands are the rulers of everything. The rulers of everything in the end. Alright, that's enough good. Wait a minute. Okay, now we're good. We're gonna stop right there for that piece and chop it with some scissors along this line over here. Because I can tell that that's where one part stops and the other one, a new one, begins. Alright. Now let us start with the cardboarding. We'll just put these pieces to the side there. Just for right now. Is this piece big enough? Yeah, for at least part of it, I'm sure. Maybe I just need to rip it in half. That might work. Go, go, gadget, box knife! Nice. Now, would it make more sense for me to cut all of them out while they're all connected to the one piece? Or cut out all the individual pieces and glue those together? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the latter. I'm gonna need a bigger table. This is nice, but I'm just gonna need... Ugh. Yeah, that should be good enough. Just get all the rough shapes out for that part. Maybe tape all of these segments together. Now you see, my dear adventurers, a good boxsmith is a boxsmith that recycles and recycles frequently. We create a lot of paper scraps when we do what we're doing here, but the very nature of a boxsmith, the very thing that we're doing, is repurposing cardboard, which helps, you know, recycle and save the environment. But something that every boxsmith should have on hand is a recycling bin. I have one underneath my table here. If I could, I would show it to all of you, but that'll be for another time. But if you want recycling bins of your own, what I suggest you doing is just taking a cardboard box. You're gonna need 2 or 3 of them. One for just general trash and things, like small scraps, like if I were to cut right here. Small little scraps that are too small to do much of anything with in the future, that goes in your small box. And you have a classification of medium-sized pieces, like this, which have a lot of small parts on them that could be used for trash. Like if I were to cut like this would most likely be trash, but this is a piece that's still good. I could use it for something. Like I might use it for this piece right here. So it's good that I kept this around instead of having to start cutting into a brand new box all over again. The objective is efficiency. You want to use as much of a box as possible before discarding it. That is the name of the game. And then lastly, you want a big box for the bigger pieces that, like the smaller pieces, are just pieces of cardboard that you have no use for that particular project, but it's still quality cardboard and can be used for a later project, so it's just good to have that stored away for later. Saves you the time and energy of having to cut it to another big box. Also saves you from creating extra trash. So, always be mindful as a boxsmith of if a piece of cardboard that's already been cut can still be used before you decide to discard it forever. That is the lesson today. Now, that being said, I'm going to finish cutting this piece and putting it on here. And then we'll start putting them onto the cardboard itself. Now, since these are technically the same pieces right here, I'm just gonna put one of them to the side and just cut out the other one. And then take that piece that I cut out from this and use that to cut out the second one. That's how I like to do this kind of thing. But if you're just starting out and don't feel as comfortable cutting without the guidelines, then you should use both pieces. That's what they're there for. Now, where is my glue stick? Yes. I'm gonna use the old glue stick. One of my favorite video games of all time is Guilty Gear Strive. If you saw that video I made a few days ago, that was a recap of last week's stream. There were several bits of it where I made reference to Strive. Just speaking of glue, you could probably tell this is going if you're familiar with the game or have played it before. But I'm a Potemkin main. I'm a grappler, a filthy glue eater. Thinking of glue made me think of the reputation us grappler mains get. We are not fondly looked upon in the fighting game community. It's not our fault that we're so awesome. Other players get jealous of us. It is truly their loss. Not a huge fan of zoners, though. One of my best friends is a Testament player. They're actually one of the top 200 Testament players in the world, and they beat my ass anytime that we play together. One thing's for certain, by the time I finally get good at Strive, I'm going to have an obscurely strong understanding of how Testament players fight. I'm like Zoro trying to get even with Mihawk with this. So that's a little bit into my life. How are all of you doing today? It's a lovely day for cutting cardboard. Really, any day is a lovely day for cutting for cardboard. But this day is especially lovely because I am here with all of you. I quite enjoy our little streams, spending time with all of you as we make some cool stuff here, vibe, and just have a good time. Because that's what it's all about. Most things in life are better when you do them with other people. Boxsmithing is one of those things. Ten points to whoever can tell me what game this song is from. I know we have a lot of video game enjoyers in this chat, in this community in general. So I want to see who's got based taste and can tell me what game this song is from. Alright, that's the first piece cut out. Oops, almost cut out. Forgot that part right there is not... Oh, wait, no, yes it is. That was my mistake. Yes, it's fully cut out now. A. Literally, A. Editor Jeb, do me a favor. When you look back in this footage and see me say A, zoom in on the A. It'll be funny, trust me. Yours truly, filming Jeb from the past. I could really use another editor, chat. I enjoy editing, but it's very time-consuming. And time I'm editing is time I'm not doing other things like designing new things for y'all to make, or filming new things for y'all to see. Things like that. I truly have the best job in the world being the boxsmith. But I am not blind to the fact that no man is an island. So any help I can get with any part of the process is help that I will gladly and gratefully receive. Just gonna wait another couple of seconds for that to finish drying. Let's see, can I fit another piece on this page as well? Maybe. Let me get this trash out of the way first. Yeah, that could go there. That could go there. Or maybe. Yeah, I would rather put that there. Have that there. Did that fit there? Nope. Maybe this, though. Yes. It's delightful. Really delightful. Alright, let me go glue those on. And afterwards, we'll start cutting out the other piece. Oh dear, I keep forgetting how fast this stuff glues. Ugh, words. I keep forgetting how fast this glue dries. I have to be quicker than that. No, no, no. You will stay on that piece. You will stay. No. You will stay together. Because I have deemed it so. Alright, I'm just gonna wait for that to start to dry. In the meantime, I'm gonna cut out this one. This is one of the simpler builds you'll see on this channel, because it's mostly just assorted rectangles. Like Tetris pieces, but they happen to form a hammer. Oh dear, that's going to hurt. I think a bead of sweat just fell into my eye. That's not going to be fun. We ball. I'll live. Oh, okay, good. I think it's just passing past my eyelid. We're good, we're good. Let's go. The end of the school year is coming up. For all y'all who are in school, you excited? Summer vacation is starting soon. It's always nice whenever summer vacation rolls around. I was always a big fan of Phineas and Ferb growing up. I'm sure that's no surprise to anyone. And it really impacted the way I approach summer vacation. The idea of doing as much as you can within that time as you possibly can. You know, carpe diem, seize the day. That kind of energy. Build something cool every day while your pet sneaks off to fight a mad scientist. Yeah. Those are the kind of vibes we on. It's another piece done. Just put that there. And here I thought you had dried fully. It appears I was mistaken. Not to worry, we're just gonna play a little more. And we'll be right as rain. That should do the trick. Ah. You see, when you're working with something like thin paper pieces at the end of your project, that's another reason why it's good and important to have a really sharp knife. Because if your knife is even a little bit dull, it's gonna grip into the paper and drag it and tear it, which is not what you want. You want a really sharp knife, you want to approach it with light, thin strokes that will slowly score through the paper without having to worry about sensitivity. It's quite helpful. Almost done here. Voila. Alright, that's another part done. Which just leaves you, my little friend. Very nice. Okay, that just leaves this one that needs to be done for that part. Let me discard some of the pieces we don't need anymore. Uh-oh. Let me go fix the music real quick. There we go. Nice. Bad knife. Actually, that's less the knife's fault and more. I accidentally put my finger in the wrong place. I retracted the blade a little bit. But no one was hurt, so no harm, no foul. Another one done. And soon. Another one too. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? Culmination of all your work being put together. It's a beautiful thing to see. No matter what it is, whether it's boxsmithing, video games, any skill that you want to hone. It's always gratifying seeing the fruits of labor. Oh dear. Ah, that's alright. We'll improvise. Change cutting technique to something a little more thrust heavy. And what I'm trying to do here is, even though the stencil is compromised, if I can just stab and poke a rough outline into it, I could then cut into it, connecting the dots after. Like this. And look at that. You don't need this anymore. At least not that side of it. You just poke, 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 poke. And then we can cut into it. And we are good to go. Voila. Alrighty. Let's put this to the side and take a quick inventory of the pieces that we have cut out here. We've got this. That's for later. We've got this. That. This one right here. This is trash. This one. That's for later. This one. That's for later. And this one. So. Basically, how it works is that one's going to connect to there. These are going to form... excuse me. These are going to form a layer of buffer around the one part of it. This is going to be a layer of buffer around another one. And, to be completely frank, I don't remember what this one's supposed to be, but we'll figure it out soon enough. Nothing wrong with a little improv. If everything went perfectly according to plan, life wouldn't be interesting. Like they say in Steven Universe, if every pork chop were perfect, we wouldn't have hot dogs. So, that being said, this piece has score lines, so I'm just going to go ahead and score those before I remove the paper from it. And this is a method of cutting I call the score and fold, at least a modified version of it, where basically I make light, shallow cuts into the cardboard. Not enough to go all the way through, but roughly halfway through. And when that's done, you can just bend it, and it perfectly bends to the side that you just cut, like that. And you'll see why that's important in a little bit. The best part is, it doesn't have to be 100% perfect cut. If you go off the line, a little bit, as long as you trace back to where it was, it should, in most cases, still be fine. You should do your best to stay on the line as much as possible, but aside from just a slight imperfection in the cut, there are far worse mistakes you can make. My school of boxsmithing is designed to be very forgiving to errors. Where one might see a project ruining problem, I look for opportunities to make it actually work even better than the original plan. I tend to view challenges less as obstacles and more as what's the word I'm looking for? Less obstacles, more paths I hadn't considered. Because sometimes I've learned in life, the reason things aren't working the way you want them to is because God, the universe, the script writers, whatever you want to call it, is trying to show you that there is a better way than what you originally thought. And listening out for that little voice is what led me to some of my greatest achievements, including but not limited to even becoming the Boxsmith, but that's a story for another day. Now, we have our little pieces here, and I think now's a good time to just take off the paper, because we really don't need it anymore. It's not for these parts. Now we're just gonna put these pieces to the side. And... interesting. Nah. I'm gonna put those to the side. We're gonna need them later. But not... I don't know what that was. It fell over. That's probably fine. Forgot about this piece. Gotta score and fold this one too. Yeah. Alrighty then. Interesting. Alright, we might have a problem. So, it appears I might have glued two of the wrong pieces together. Which is kind of an issue. So that leaves us with a couple of different options. Assembling the template the normal way seems to be a bit out of the question because my printer's down, so I can't really get replacement pieces right now. So I have roughly half of the pieces that make this thing anyways. The other half not so much. So what we could do is I could take the template pieces that we have on hand already and improvise the rest of the build by my normal boxsmithing hand. Which could absolutely work. We'd lose the ability for y'all to follow along with what I'm doing, but we'd still get a full hammer by the time it's done. Is that something we want to do today, everyone? Say, fuck it, we ball, and do a freehand build instead of following the template, which I kind of scuffed. Is that how we feeling today, chat? Ugh. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Alright, we're going off the books today, y'all. We're going off the books today. Alright, if we're gonna go off the books, we need going off the books music. Doing something fun, so let me get some fun music. Just give me the hang on. This'll do. Fuck it. Ultra Kill Act 2 soundtrack. Let's hit it. We're going off the books, lads. You're gonna see something very interesting today, and that's a boxsmith at work. Master Boxsmith at work. In real time. Live action. You know what? You know what? We're taking the ankle weights off. No. We need something even better. Hang on, we can do better than that. Hang on, we can just... Yeah, that'll do. Hold on. Where's the... Oh, not that. Ah, here we go. Gaze upon it, my dear adventurers, for you are about to see something you were never intended to see live, simply because it is too risky. When I remove my ankle weights, when I drop the gear and become my strongest boxsmithing self. Let's do this. Yeah. Y'all ready to see some real fucking speed? I'm gonna show you some real fucking boxsmithing speed. Watch this. Just gonna move the mic out of the way. We're not gonna be using it a whole lot right now. Score and fold. Score and fold. Do I actually need 2 of those? Who the hell knows? Small. It's too small. That's what the problem was. It needs to be bigger. much bigger. I will make it bigger. Much better. I can glue that back. You take the piece, you put it inside by the hammer. Oh, heck. You take the piece, you slide it a little bit with the cardboard, it's good as new. Every time. Hot glue burns good. Yes! Hit me! Hit me more! Score and fold. I didn't want y'all to have to see this. Didn't want y'all to have to see this side of me, but no, the cardboard decided it didn't want to act. So now you see my true form. You see what really goes on behind the scenes whenever I have to mess with cardboard boxes. Tisk, tisk, tisk. You see me now for the monster I hide. For who I truly am. Sometimes to ensure accuracy, you're just gonna have to touch the hot glue. And it's gonna hurt. But sometimes beauty is pain. Ah! Believe me when I say, mother, tell your children not to do what I have done. This is incredibly painful. But sometimes, if you've ever played Team Fortress 2, specifically Soldier, and learning to rocket jump, sometimes you have to sacrifice a little bit of health to increase your mobility. That is what we are doing here. I've singed most of the pain feelers in those parts of my hands anyways. You wanna be a strong boxsmith? You wanna be the highest level, the Gordon fucking Ramsay of boxsmiths? You're gonna have to make some fucking Gordon Ramsay boxsmith sacrifices. That is the lesson here today, my dear adventurers. It's not perfect. Up, see Daisy. Good. Further up. Yes. Yes. No. Good. They'll get cleaned up anyways, Jeb. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Used to be longer. Even longer. Oh no, we're not nearly done yet. We are just getting started. Once that piece is finished, this goes on top of it to create the face. We're going to create a little bit of layer on top of it there to move that side, that side, that side, that side. You'll see what I'm doing when I'm doing it. It's too much to possibly explain. While there's things to craft. This lines up with this. On what side? That side. Let's take one of these. Take a second one of it. I put it there. It's good. Side one. Blue. Take it. Make sure it's the right piece. Take it. Smash it on there. Perfectly even. Like that. Second piece. Take the side. Preferably a tape side down because I fucking hate the tape that Amazon uses now. It is so difficult to take off of the boxes. It is no bueno. A Boxsmith, I really dislike using it under most circumstances. Sometimes it is okay looking. Adds a little bit more personality detail to the build. But that is an exception, not the rule. Remember that now. This piece, perfectly sized. Take another one just like it. Every box has two. Put it together. Slam it down. Make sure it's lined perfectly. Take your knife. Chop, chop, chop. Line it up one more time. Slice. Doesn't slice all the way through? Slice it again. Rip it if needed to. Rip and tear until it is done. Take a little bit of this. Hope it's gracious to you. You see? This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is what I don't like about these things. Perfect. Good enough. This side. This is not glued fully. Fine. Add more glue. Add as much fucking glue as needed until it is done. That is the boxsmithing way. A little bit more there. A little bit more on that side. It's not even. That's better. Adjust as we go. That is how it's done. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Y'all understand me? Improvise, adapt, overcome. Always. Look at that. Looking better already. It's fucking marvelous. Take out the piece. Put it there. Rip this off. Because we do not like that piece. This is the enemy. Disintegrate it at any point in time you see. That is my decree as your king of cardboard. More glue. See this right here? This is preferable to this. Almost every situation. This is flimsy on the inside. What are we going to do about that? Easy. See this right here? See how it's almost perfectly spaced? See how it's almost perfectly spaced out inside this? That's what we're looking for. That's going to go inside of it. Like I went inside of your... inside like this. See this? Fucking cameras. You see this? Perfect. Good. So you take this piece like this. You know that's the right size for all of it. Now, you have different ways about how you can go about it. You have different ways you can go about it. You can just put one inside this part right here, and that would be good, but if you want even more reinforcement, you take this, you double it up, and you put it together. Let me show you how to do that. See? Take this, discard that, we're gonna use this one right here. Double it, give it to the next person. Right here. Slice it. Doesn't want to slice? Fine. Slice it further. It is cardboard. It does not tell you what to do. You tell it what to do. Tear that off. Take more pieces. You want two like this. Like one. Like another. Just like that. You're gonna take that. You're gonna bend it a little bit just to make it easier on yourself. Just like so. Take your glue. Glue the flap you've made. Boom. Boom. Glue. On there. Glue. Was this the right piece? Fuck, might have been the wrong piece. Glue. Right piece. On there. Measure as you go. See that? Good. Chop it. Wrong knife? Don't give a shit. Chop it. Rip it. Bop it. Twist it. Remember that now. Glue. Here. There. Old MacDonald. Glue. There. Had a farm. E-I-E-I, ouch. Woohoo! Oh, that hurt. But that's good. The pain makes me stronger. Shove it in there. It doesn't have to be neat, it just has to be proper. What's the difference, you might ask? If it looks stupid but works, it ain't stupid. If this isn't perfectly even when it's shoved inside of here, then that's totally fine. This music is too dull. It's not exciting enough. I fucking love this song, but this is not the mood I'm looking for. We are in chaos right now. Peace is no longer an option. Peace went out the window when I got the piece wrong when I was cutting the template. But we don't give up in this house, we adapt, we overcome. If that means going a little bit of sicko mode, then that's perfectly fine. That's exactly what we're going to do. OBS is disconnected. OBS has reconnected. Welcome back, everyone. We're still doing this shit. Stand that. Slap it down. Take the glue. Glue it in. What is with that melody? Hang on. Next song. No. 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 Maybe. No. No. Fuck's sake. Fine. Skip it a little bit. It's got slow. That'll do. Other piece. As I was saying, what's the difference between neat and proper? If it looks stupid but works, it ain't stupid. No one's gonna see the support inside of it anyway, so if you put in a little bit sloppy, it's not a big deal. As long as it's in there, as long as it's giving you the support, it's doing its job properly, that's all you should care about. Next step. Glue it on top of it. I don't care how you do it, you just glue it on top of it. You figure it out as you go. That's how we mostly do these kind of things anyways. It's trial and error. 90% of being a boxsmith is trial and error. Things rarely ever go right the first time you try it. So what do? Do you just give up? Hell no. You do not give up. That is not what we do here. If things don't go perfectly right, we figure out a different path. We press on. We are stubborn motherfuckers in this house. That is what it means to be a boxsmith. We don't take shit lying down. We press on, we use the big old brains that we were given, and we be creative and figure out a new solution. We improvise, we adapt, we overcome. Hear me now. My boxsmiths. My knights of the brown table, my adventurers. There comes a time when the old ways no longer cut it. You must adapt. You must change. You must not fear, for fear is the mind killer. Frank Herbert taught me that. He wrote Dune. I never watched Dune. I read about 5 pages of the book. It was alright. I dropped it because I had other things to do. Like cutting things out of cardboard. Like we're doing today. This piece, we're not using it anymore. At least not for this. What we're gonna do instead? Just gonna shove it in there. That's right. That's not what it was intended for. It looks nothing like the other piece we use for support. Doesn't matter. We're shoving it in there because at the end of the day, it's all cardboard and will do the job just fine. Pro tip. This hot glue gun. This is the 45 ACP of hot glue guns. Gorilla Glue, excellent stuff. Personally recommended. Using anything else, heresy. It's like building a house with plastic nails. Now, this particular type of glue gun has 2 temperature settings, hot and cold. Hot is good if you're starting out, you need a lot of margin of error. Hot, it takes like 45 seconds for it to dry and cool fully. Cooler is for when you're a bit more advanced. It gets the stuff just hot enough so that it melts, but you have a lot less time, which is perfect in this particular situation, when we don't have a whole lot of time. Because the human attention span is rapidly dwindling with each generation. Therefore, we can't afford to take forever and a day for things to take long to glue. Remember that well. You see that? Perfect. Beautiful. Excellent. Did I break the fucking stand for this thing? Yes, I did. Whatever. Whatever. We move on. What's next? We need the bottom pieces. Where are the bottom pieces? Hell if I know. We're just gonna take this thing, cut out the rough shape, and make it into the new bottom piece. Because that's how we roll here. See that? It was one, and now it's another. Bazinga. Put it on there to start. Good. Glue it. Glue it down. We can always trim it a little bit more if needed. At the bare minimum, that's good enough. We're gonna need another one of them. Where we're gonna put it? Who knows? Someone just said this got a metal splinter it. Eesh! Ugh, I feel your pain, my friend. Metal splinters are the worst type of splinters. They hurt when they go in, and they hurt when they come out. Truly the worst of everything. I do hope you get it out. If you have some of these on hand, you don't know stapler, you don't know pliers, use that. That's what I use whenever that happens to me. It's gonna hurt, but you'll feel better afterwards. I hope you're tested for tetanus. That's it's no fun. How much of this do we need? How long of a hammer do we want, y'all? We've got all of this we could possibly work with. How much of it do we fucking want? Just look at this. See here? We've got this hammer. We've got my old hammer. We have, at maximum, this much raw material to work with here. You want to use this much raw material? You want to make a comically large hammer, chat? Is that what we're looking at today? And that's what we're looking at today. Comically large hammer it is. Alright. Let's move. Hoorah! So, that means, of course, I'm going to need to take this entire piece right here, slap it down over there so that it extends all the way to the bare minimum, most of it right there. Look at this. I say I need to cut it in half. Need to be perfectly in half? Of course not. But just close enough in half. So I'm just going to eyeball it, take my ruler. It's in half, just like that. So, look at that. Look at this. Send it all the way out here. Beautiful. Beautiful. Put it on the bottom. It's raised above, so I'm going to use my soda can over here to bring it up to the right level it needs to be. So I can glue it on. Nice, snug, and secure. Move. There we go. Hammer V2, that's absolutely right, as the Janner Legend. Hammer V2, let's go! Not me to hit the water break button. We'll take a water break in a little bit. It is getting kind of hot in here. But now, no. No. We are opening the 8th gate. We're going to need to be a little bit hotter before we need to cool down with some water. You didn't see it because it was off screen, but a little bit of the hot glue fell through the project and almost onto my leg, but I just moved it slightly to the side. Just out of the way. So now there is my... Something to be noted about hot glue. It's hell to get out of your clothes. That's part of the reason why I wear short sleeves. You get that shit on your clothes, it almost never comes out. A huge problem. Hydroman, you know what? Fuck it. It is time, everybody. It is time, everyone, for the water break. I assume you all have your liquid vessels. I have mine here. Pretentious liquid holder. Made it myself in high school. It's beautiful, isn't it? No, it is not a hydro flask. If you look closely, it just says pretentious liquid holder. I know it's backwards. Shut up. All right. So, as you know, we take hydration very seriously here. So, let us begin. You know how we do it here on the Boxsmith channel. We stay hydrated on the Boxsmith show. Or how can we be our strongest cardboard crafters if we do not take care of our own bodies? You need to learn to love water. It is essential for a healthy lifestyle. You think I'm just a boxsmith solely because of my brain? No. Your body is just as crucial to being a boxsmith as your brain. Only when everything is working in a beautiful rhythm are you able to achieve your strongest potential. Remember that now. Woo! Alright. Back to the ship. No. This will not do. One of y'all suggested Doom music. We're gonna play Doom music. Alright. We got 3 choices. You want BFG division, cultist based, or the only thing they fear is you. Only thing they fear is you. I love it. Let's go. Move, cord. Only thing they fear is you. Alright, where's the good one with the chanting at the end? That's probably this one. Yeah, that looks promising. No, not that one. No. I mean, it's the right song, but it's the wrong version. Trust me, there's a difference. A good difference. Remastered version. Yeah, I think that's it. Excellent. Alright. In the first age. In the first battle. When the shadows first lengthened. One stood. Burned by the embers of Armageddon. His soul blistered with burning hatred. In his ravenous hatred he found no peace, and with boiling blood he scoured the umbral realms, seeking vengeance against the Dark Lords who had wronged him. He wore the crown of the Night Sentinels, and those who tasted the bite of his sword named him the Doomslayer. I used my soda bottle, propped it under here, and because this piece is level off the ground, it's just the right distance. I measured it myself. No, I didn't, but pretend I did. So I'm able to glue that on without any issue. Now we're going to do roughly the same thing on top of it. Like so. Ugh, that water's hitting different. I'm starting to see new colors. I'm on a different plane of existence. I've become one with the god of cardboard. It is a feeling. It is a feeling unlike any other feelings I have felt. But seriously, be very safe in your water drinking. I'm a high-level water consumer. I love the taste of water, and my ADHD ass gets the most reward from it when I absolutely down it like that. But if you're not built like that, there's no shame in it. Drink water responsibly. It is very easy to choke drinking water the way that I do. I choked a lot in the beginning, and it's not a fun experience. Trust me. So, tread lightly. It is not a path for everyone. Hydration is very important, but do it in the way that suits you. Just like mostly anything in life. This piece. Can we improvise and I shove it in there so that it... No, we cannot. But we can put it right there. And then just chop off that piece along that side. That's what I'm gonna do. Let's fucking go. I'm just gonna keep like a couple of sticks over there, just so I can have easy access to them. A clean workspace is a sign of nothing done as far as I'm concerned. Cleanup is for after the project's done, not during the project. What sense does that make? None at all. None at all, I say. Go forth, my child. Be one with the hammer. It is your duty. Well, that's dry. I need another piece or two to put on those either sides here. Now, what I really want is something that perfectly fits onto the part right there. So what I'm going to do is take this piece over here and chop it so it's on the same side as this, because that way it covers up this ugly mess over here and makes it look more uniform. I know that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but you'll see it when I actually do it. Trust me. Let me cook. Yeah, that's enough. Right there. Connect the dots. Reinforce the seagulls. Load the 105mm cannon. Squeeze the glue out of the 105mm cannon. Enemy AC-130 above. We are boxsmithing at the highest altitude and capacity today, everyone. That's how it works. Woo! Another piece. Right there. This side. Covers up all of this. Makes it look like a more uniform piece. What I tell y'all. Just like that. It stops perfectly right here. Because... Come on, camera. Come on. It stops perfectly right there because that indent, we're going to add another piece over here to make the pommel. That's what this part's going to be for, too. And this little part over here, it's going to be perfectly smooth. That's going to be our detailing to make it look like it's a section part for the handle. The actual part where your hand's supposed to go, like wrapping or something like that. Hell, why don't we do that? Why don't we actually add some wrapping to it? Gonna put another layer in there, another layer there. I'm sure it'll make more sense in a moment. Let's do this! Glue. Glue. Again. With more intensity. I just think it'd be really cool to have a fucking glue shotgun. I think there was a game like... I think it was Prey. I watched Markiplier play it several years ago. They had like a literal glue gun, and it was like a way to deter enemies, but it was also a mobility tool. You could like shoot glue onto platforms and climb up them. It was incredible. And ever since I saw that, I always thought to myself, how cool would it be to actually have like an actual glue gun just like that, where you could use it to like a Spider-Man burst to like stick something to something. Like, imagine a hot glue gun like this, like an actual weapon of war. That'd be some of the tightest shit ever. You know? Just gonna glue that right there. Gonna give a nice little cool looking part down the middle. It's gonna be rad, I assure you. Cut. Should I wait for the glue to finish drying while I'm cutting this? Yeah, probably. Am I going to wait for the glue to finish drying while I'm cutting this? Absolutely not. The words of that one woman from that Vine several years ago. No, it wasn't a Vine. It was before the time of Vine. It was the early days of YouTube. Schmo-yo-ho. Hell yeah. Schmo-yo-ho. Anybody got time for that? Bazinga. Other side. Pick up one of these on Boxsmith Workshop. Pick up one of these on jebtheboxsmith.com. Link in the description or something, probably. Just look it up. I got all of the tools that I use on that website. If you want a boxsmith like me, use these kind of tools. It'll save you a ton of time and effort and energy. And that is my promise to you. Ah, this is the right version. Let's go. It just ain't the same without the chanting. This really adds to the vibe, to the energy. Boom. Let me tell you something. I love this song to death. life and back. Ouch, I pinched myself. But as I was saying, Tenebre Rosa Sangue. It's basically everything I like in a boss battle song. Except it's not a boss battle song, it's a boss gauntlet song, but when it first came out, we thought it was going to be a boss battle song. But that's beside the point. This song fucking cooks. It is the most awesomest song I've heard in a long time. Keegan Church, Master Boot Record, they were really cooking with this one. It's just got all the nice elements. It's got the pipe organ, it's got the metal mixed with it. Who mixes metal with pipe organs? Who does that? I don't know, but it's awesome. I love it. Where was I? Yeah, this part. Looks good. Head. Sono head. Destroys phone. Head. Right there. Good. As I was saying. What was I saying? Oh yeah, another really cool thing about this song, it's a pun. The song is called Tenebre Rosa Sangue, which is based on how, in Spanish, Tenebroso Sangue, if I'm saying it correctly, I'm probably not, is Spanish for dark blood. So, it's kind of a pun. It basically means dark blood. That's which is really fitting of the theme of Ultra Kill, I say. Great. It's really great. Smack the top of it so the glue... Smack the top of it so all the glues stay... Stacked on top of it so all the glues and together and glues and blues clues. Yes! Who cares that the glue isn't dry? I can sharpen the knife if it dulls it faster anyways. Don't worry about it. That's how we roll. That's all we know, we don't know nothing else. I tried to tell him, young flame, pick him, roll, going, but sick him. What was that? I hit something. I don't know. Anyways, we have a full rough shape of this box's head and everything. It's not finished yet, but this is a good place to start. It's like that and like that all the way through. So, we've got our rough, basic helmet here. Let me go show you it a bit better. Wrong button. Alright, this is our base hammer. If you're just starting out, this is perfectly good. This is great. We are not just starting out. We are a master boxsmith. So, our next step of the plan is to make it look awesome. We're gonna rule of cool this motherfucker. Let's go. So, basically, how we're gonna rule of cool this motherfucker? A couple of things we're going to do. First, pommel. It needs a pommel. Like I said earlier, this piece, we're going to take advantage of the fact that this is a separate layer on top of it right there. So, we're going to put another layer over here that looks like this, and by doing that, it creates the illusion of an actual space designed specifically for your hands to go. That's what we're going to be doing right now, okay? Great. So, we need a new piece. This'll do. Then after that, I think we're going to put a spine in it finally. And I'll show you how that's done in a bit. But first, we just chop this. I say it once, say it again, this knife is great. Alrighty, so, this piece right here, we're going to bend it. We're going to take advantage of the fact that it already has natural bends in it already. Going to use that like there. Take that, put it there. Just going to gauge. We're going to use my hands. I have big hands. We're going to use my hands to gauge just how much of this I need. So, right there, right there. That's pretty good, that's pretty good. So, that tells me I need to put, if my hands sit comfortably right here, that tells me I need to put the pommel starting about right there. Which is about right. Let me just go mark it off with, perfect. Glue. Glue gun. Oh, no, you go right there. That's right. Double check before glue completely hardens. And 1, and 2, we did a good job. Excellent. Reinforce the glue so it hardens properly. Chop this piece right here, because we do not want it We do not want it all the way down like that. Understand? Splendid. I'll show you why in a little bit. Cardboard dust. If you're working in a confined space, make sure that you have good ventilation in wherever it is that you do your boxsmithing. Because cardboard dust is not really fun. You get all hacky and coughy if you inhale too much of it. It's not good for your mental state either. So I'm told. Anyways, we're just gonna glue this together right there. Glue it on top of it right there. This piece. What's the technique we're about to use? Score and fold, that's right. So, just take the knife using a completely unsafe method, purely to prioritize efficiency over safety. Again, rocket jump logic here. Don't actually do that unless you're very confident in your skills. If you do any of the obviously stupid things I do while boxsmithing, do it at your own discretion. I do not endorse you actually acting as reckless as I do. But regardless, since you're here, watch me cook this shit. Up like there, up right there, up right there, up right there. Excellent. Now, look at that. Go see it like this. I'm just gonna wait for it to dry. Just, come on. You know what? We don't have time for that. We're just gonna... I'm not sure if you saw that, but I just accidentally pressed the nozzle of the hot glue gun directly onto my finger. That was fun. Alright. Okay. We're just gonna chop that off right there. Chop, chop. Look at that. That's a big-ass hammer. So as I was saying, this piece right here, and now this piece that we've added on here, gives the illusion that there's actually a dedicated space designed for you to put your hands when working on the giant hammer. Excellent, isn't it? Yes. So, need to put 2 more pieces on here for the added detailing, and then it's on to the next step, which I think is going to be, excuse me, adding some wrapping onto this. Kind of like we did for the, where did I put it? We're going to wrap the handle like we wrapped the handle for the hooks we made last time. Just make it look really neat. I think we're going to use this. We're going to chop it off into several pieces, and chopping off into several pieces, we're going to glue them together similar to how we did earlier. If you have a really long single piece of cardboard, that'll work just as fine too, but we do not in this case, so we adapt, as we always do. So we take the knife, take that, move. There we go. Now, something I really like doing as a boxsmith is using the ruler as a frame of reference for a lot of my measurements. So whenever I'm making something that has a really long singular line to it, I just like making it the exact length of the ruler that I'm working with. See? It just makes things easier. I'm just going to make about 2 or 4 of them. I'm just going to use this entire singular piece to transform this into a bunch of thin strips. We're going to take those thin strips, as many as it takes, and glue them together until we have 2 very long strips. And those are what we're going to use to... And those are what we're going to use to wrap the handle. To make the handle that we wrap around the blade itself. Now, what I think I'm going to do instead of the double wrap that we used for this one right here, I think I'm going to wrap it similar to how I wrapped the Leviathan axe I made a long time ago, and then just use a singular candy cane-like spiral instead of a double spiral. So, we're going to just discard that. We're going to take these pieces, go for about an inch margin, glue them together to create one very long strand. Like that. And like that. That should be roughly enough. They don't have to be perfectly even in size, just to know roughly how much you need. You just kind of gauge as you go. And we're gonna set that aside and let that dry. Then we're gonna look at this hammer and think to ourselves, we could add some more cool stuff to it. It needs bigger faces. That's what I think. We're gonna make it look kind of like the clone drone of the Danger Zone hammer I made a long time ago. So, we take this box over here, a brand new box. Rip off the shipping label. I don't want to accidentally dox whoever owned this box whenever I got it. This one might have been given to me from somewhere. Don't want people's addresses on it. We take the box, we disassemble it. Y'all remember the disassembly technique I taught you how to do? Well, if you don't, we're gonna do it again because the boxsmith does. Sorry about that. Because the boxsmith does this relatively frequently. Alrighty, so what did we learn last time? We're just gonna use the other screen. What did we learn last time? Boxes are always built with an Achilles heel. It looks like... You see that right there? See a little tab right there? That's what we're looking for here. You take that little tab, this box will cooperate with me. It's almost like it doesn't want to die. It does not have a choice. It will be made into beautiful art whether it likes it or not. But, see this little flap right there? Gonna take that, gonna use your finger, just gonna like grab it, and just start pulling until it's completely disassembled. Voila, you have successfully opened up the box to its entire possible singular length. Beautiful. Alrighty then. What do we do with this? It's an excellent question. I'll show you in a bit, but right now, this is finished drying. We're gonna go and wrap the handle now. Let's go back. So, how are we gonna do this? We take the hammer, take the piece of long cardboard we took, put some glue down. You're gonna need to reload that glue gun shortly. Take this, put it on at a diagonal, like this. It's very important that we put on like a diagonal, because that's going to make it easier for us just to go around and around and around and around. You understand? Great. So, start off right there. Wait for that to dry. Tactically reload your hot glue gun. Beautiful. That should almost be done drying now. Just gonna wrap and tap, wrap and tap, wrap and tap, pause. That one didn't stay together. Let's go. Zoom it around right there. Wait for that to glow. Wait for that to dry. Blow on it. Should make it dry faster. Continue wrapping and wrapping and wrapping, and sometimes you might even need to do it twice. But it appears the hot glue has touched my hand. I'm in tremendous pain. No matter. Just more nerves to just burn off and make me even stronger boxsmith. To the point I don't even feel a thing. I could cut all the way through my hand and not notice it until I wake up the next morning and realize I'm unable to disarm my alarm because I have a bleeding stump where my hand should be. And then by then, that's when I realize I should probably go see a doctor. By that time, it's probably too late because, you know, my hand is probably decayed and is no longer usable. And then I just be kind of stuck. At least until the Cyberpunk Edgerunners becomes a reality, I can just get a new hand that's roughly just as good, if not better, than my flesh and blood hand. I will say to everyone when they ask what happens, before I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. I craved the strength and certainty of steel. Your kind cling to your flesh as will not wither and fail you. I aspire to the purity of the blessed machine, see? One day the crude biomass which you call a temple will wither, and you will beg my kind to save you. But you see, I am already saved, for the machine is immortal. Even in death, I serve the Omnisaya. Despite the copy pasta, I myself am not a huge Warhammer person. I had a friend in high school, good friend of mine, he was really into Warhammer. That's where I That's why I learned shit about it from. I like to think he's doing well. But it was... Year of our Luigi 2018. I was in a Dungeons & Dragons group, led by a friend of mine. And he asked me, you ever heard of the Adeptus Mechanicus? And I was like, no, I had not heard of the Adeptus Mechanicus. And he said, well, in the words of Larry the Cucumber, Bob the Tomato from VeggieTales, have we got a show for you? And yes, Quaker, you are allowed to curse here. Like I said at the beginning of this stream, you don't feel comfortable nowhere else, you will feel comfortable here. This is the Boxsmith Live show. We clown in this motherfucker. I meant that. Yeah. Be kind to one another, but yeah, be kind to another, don't use slurs. But yeah, you have fun, kids. Have fun. You won't get flagged for that. Alrighty, so, if you notice, there's a big gaping hole in this cardboard box. And there is reason for that. Because once this finishes drying, when it does finish drying, who the hell knows when that'll be, just glue that on there. Wait for it to dry. In the meantime, I'm going to grab this doohickey I have on hand over here. Ah, I've hit one of my lights. This. This right here. If this won't, for the umpteenth time, this one just does not want to stay together. Fine. I will have to hold it in place then. Excellent. Alrighty, so if you know what I got here, this is a 5 foot 3.5 inch PVC pipe. 5 foot long, 3.5 inch in diameter PVC pipe. And this is going to be what we use to Vlad the Impale this hammer and give it strength. Strength like no other. Because when this thing's inside of it, its durability quadruples. Naturally, without it, carbon is very flimsy, as y'all know very well. See? It bends super easy, just like that. But you put a spine in it, like this, or like my other hammer. Nothing getting through that. I love PVC pipes. My favorite spine to use in all of boxsmithing. It's a shame it's not as easy to obtain as other materials. But whatever you have on hand works just fine. I have personal preference and have the ability to easily access PVC pipe, so I use PVC pipe whenever possible. It's great for hammers, it's great for axes, it's even great for katanas if you know how to cut and bend with it. Which is a very advanced boxsmithing skill. We'll go into detail on that another day, but yeah. So, I have an idea. We can decide if that's something we want to do or not. Completely dependent on whether or not I have my pliers stapler with me. Not my pliers stapler, my pipe cutter. Alright. It appears... Oh, would you look at that? Alright, everyone. It appears that my pipe cutter is missing in action. Which means I'm not going to be able to cut this PVC pipe. So, do we give up? Hell no. We're boxsmiths. We think of new solutions. What new solution are we going to think of? Well, it's quite simple, you see. If we can't just cut the hammer, if we can't just cut the PVC pipe, then we're going to extend the hammer. We're making a warhammer now. That's how it's gonna be. It's gonna be a big old warhammer too. So, now that we know that, I'm gonna take some supports, these extra little pieces that we had in there, and we're just gonna shove it up this thing's ass, so that it's able to completely and snugly hold onto the hammer at the bottom part. So, we're gonna put the hammer to the side, we're gonna take the PVC pipe itself and just glue and glue and glue this onto it. Like so. Come on. Yes. And it doesn't need to have to be on all sides of it, but at least most of it, because what this will do, you notice, this thing is mostly made of rectangles. Rectangles all the way through. This thing is entirely a circle. So, we're going to turn the circle into a rectangle so that the rectangle can fit into the circle hole. No, so that the circle can fit into the rectangle hole. It's going to look great, trust me. You know, I'm actually very excited for this. I've always wanted a pole arm kind of hammer. The only other time I had made one was when I was working with clones around the danger zone. But as you've probably seen, the proportions for such a hammer are too comically big to be reasonably wielded. But this, I'm excited for this one because this one will be around the size that I can actually grab and wield it. Which means I can do tricks with it. Something a lot of y'all don't know about me is that my quarantine hobby was flow dance. I picked up, one day online classes ended and I was bored, so I picked up my toy Darth Maul lightsaber and started to spin with it. And then let me tell you, I never stopped spinning with it. Now, whether it be a sword, I don't really have a lot of space in this room, but let me tell you, when it comes to spinning long objects like this, I am goated with the sauce. I spent 2 years practicing the art of flow dance. I can do all sorts of cool tricks, and with a big old hammer like this, oh, I can make a really cool video. I can make a really cool video showing you all how that looks. I'm excited now. Ruler. That's what I needed. Yes! Good. So, like I said, we don't need it for it to coat all the way through all parts of this 5-foot-long behemoth of a pole. It's not the only 5-foot-long behemoth of a pole I got, if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, we don't need it on this on all sides of it, just most parts of it. So what I think I'm gonna do, is just on all sides, on all sides, we're just gonna go top, middle, and bottom. So, to make it even easier, I actually don't know how I'm going to make it even easier. Whatever. I'm just going to put this to the side. And then just start gluing. And then not stop gluing. It's a lovely day to walk down the road. If I ever stop singing, I will explode. Hey, Steven, what have you done? Anyone else watch Asdif movie? Back in the day? I wonder if he's going to make another one this year. It's always a pleasant surprise when he does. Just going to make sure this is properly balanced and everything. Perfectly balanced as all things should be. Baker 66279 says, I want to try boxsmithing after this. You absolutely should. Boxsmithing is ridiculously fun. Especially when you get good at it. And I'm here to walk you through how to get good at it. Because this hobby of ours, it's got a deceptively low skill ceiling. Deceptively high skill ceiling. There's not a whole lot of resources out there to really teach you how to get good. I'm entirely self-taught. It took me 6 years to get to the point where I am now. So my entire mission is to be the content creator I wish I had when I was starting out. And that's who I intend to be to all of you. I will show you the true power of cardboard as cosplay demands it. And you will become not just like me, but the hope is even stronger. Until one day we Boxsmiths completely take over the cosplay a cosplay industry itself. That is the true agenda here. Cardboard supremacy. Now, as I was saying here, top, middle, and bottom. Bing. Get out of there. Bing. Bam. Boom. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take the hammer we've made and just orient it correctly. Just slide it. And just slide it. Come on, you're embarrassed. Come on. Just slide it. Thank you. On. In. Yeah, like that. Great. Now just move it up a little bit so I can glue at least part of it together because we don't want this thing to start falling out at some point. Boom. Just like that. Beautiful, isn't it? So, now we have the start, at least, of an absolute giga hammer. Now what we're going to do, twofold. One, we're going to start working on the top pieces, because this is an impressive length, but it needs more girth. Pause. So, we're going to take pieces on this side, and make this a little bit even bigger. How are we going to do that? Simple. We take the rest of this box, we take a look at this. This is going to be very impractical to move around stuff, but it's going to be fine. We're going to take this, we're going to look at the different sides, we're going to take that, then just visually extrude it. Make it a little bit bigger. Ugh. Ah, my neck. How are we going to do that? Simple, really. Take the cardboard, move your hot glue gun out of the way. You give it the old MKX special. That's Mortal Kombat X special. Fatality it. You take the piece right here. The one piece is real. Ah, shit. Sorry about that. That's better. There we go. You take this piece. You hit pause. Take another sip. You take another piece. You look at this thing. Gotta remember what the fuck you were saying. You remember what the fuck you were saying? You cut the box. You look at this piece. You decide to make it bigger. You take a look at it from a bird's eye view perspective. You decide that you want that piece to extend on all that sides. You wish you had a pencil on you, but you use a knife to improvise. The caveman before you. Make a little notch into the part of it right there. The other part right there doesn't have to be perfectly neat. That's what revisions are for, if you even want to make revisions of it. I don't really know. I kind of like making a project, then moving on to something new. I love Devil Trigger, but they're conflicting voices now. Back to the... Yeah, that'll do. Don't really like having songs with a lot of words in them while I'm talking. Makes it hard for you to focus on what I'm saying. Anyways. Following the notches I made in the cardboard a little bit a second ago. Maybe I really should get a pencil at some point. Who knows, who cares. What happened to the other notch I made in this? It was... Where was it? It would have been... Okay, if I look at this side and see where I cut it right there, then it should be around right... That looks correct. Let's go with that. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Is that good enough? That tickle my fancy. Yeah, that's good enough. We can work with this. Welcome back, Ezzy. We're, not sure if you saw, but we decided to make this into an even bigger hammer because I forgot my fucking pipe cutter, and I don't have time to look for it. So we're making the we're making an even bigger hammer instead, because we can't cut the pipe to make it a smaller hammer. Say it with me, y'all. Say it with me, y'all. Improvise, adapt, overcome. That is what we do here. I'm too lazy to cut this. Too lazy to cut that too. Perfect. Use this. Use this as the stencil for it. Just gonna chop it. Pop it, twist it, pull it. Touch it, play it, watch it. Techno logic. We got any Daft Punk fans here? I remember when they broke up. That was crazy. Is this big enough of a gap for making the face of the hammer? Let me just I just visualize. You see what I'm going for here, y'all? Yeah. Yeah, that works. Excellent. So, time for another box tip. So, we've got these 4 pieces over here, yes? 1, 2, 3, 4. That goes there, that goes on top of it, and that goes right there next to it. So, first, we need to make it so that it's not flimsy. So we look at the one piece that's going to be the side of it. We're going to want to cut another part that's roughly the same size, so that we can make that the support. We're going to take all this, put them to the side. We're going to take that, put it right there, and then just chop it to the side like so. Fortunately, we're moving with the grain. You know, cardboard always has a grain on it. We're moving with the grain. And now we can just bend this in 4s or so. It's not particularly neat, but it'll get the job done. Yeah, like that. And we're just gonna stick that on there. Some hot glue. And I can't do attitude. Anything is possible. I did not mean to glue that onto this piece. I meant to glue it onto the center of this one, because that's where it needs to go. You'll see why in a minute. This is the support piece. Stick. Stick in. Gluing. Gluing is the most boring part of boxsmithing, if you ask me. It is necessary, but it is not very entertaining. Wait a minute. Did I do this right? Did I make the... Son of a... Okay, you know, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We adapt. We improvise. We double it and give it to the next person. Take it. Hold it. Glue it into place. Wait patiently for it to glue. Don't wait patiently for it to glue. Put it to the side. Think about investing in some clamps to hold things in place for you. Look at the cardboard you're working with. I love Daft Punk, but it's not the vibe we're looking for. Ugh, I love that song, but not the vibe. I can actually sing along to it. I've got the metal chords. It's fun. We'll do that another time, if ever. No. We need more music. Anyone got suggestions? This'll do. Just for the time. The Goof, you've got a song, but it's calm? Still suggest it. You might find a need for it. Let's see here. Wait, October 1971 by Cortex. I probably botched the pronunciation of it. Screw it, let's give it a shot. We'll use it to take a break anyway. We'll use it to take a small break. October 1971. Alrighty. That's pretty good. I like it. We'll use that as a way to take a small little break. Use it as a time to stretch all of our phalanges. Use it as a time to just relax a little bit. And read some of y'all's comments. Let's see here. I need the mic a bit more, so let me get a bit closer to it now. From understanding the chat lore properly. Hang on a minute. SZ I don't want to scroll all the way up to the top of chat. Could you tell me a little bit more about the project that you're working on? It sounds very interesting. It must be truly worth a whole lot of... must truly be worth it if you're sustaining all of these metal splinters for it. So, tell us about it. You have the floor. Also, the Goof, you're fine. Talk as much as you want. That's what the chat is for. I dig this song, by the way. It's got a fascinating little synth vibe to it. It's kind of jazzy, too. I dig it. Basically, alright, as Janer said, basically it's a heavy chain weapon with each part attached with spikes, and each blade on each side with main swords. The head is the somewhat look of the Leviathan. And a big blade. Very fascinating. Whether or not it's made out of cardboard or not, if you're in the Discord, make sure that you send a photo of it, even a work in progress. You can take a look at that later in the stream or next time. Sounds like a fun time. Don't worry about it being a long explanation. Sometimes you need a long explanation just to you know, get all the thoughts out. English was my strongest class in high school because I loved long explanations. Class was really big. My teacher was really big on thesis. That was a big bulk of what we did in our class. And let me tell you, when I have something that I can think about long enough to write about it for, I can argue about just about anything. Theses were just the perfect thing for me to happen to learn about in English class. The Goof says I need to join the Discord. You know, let me do you a solid and drop a link to the Discord. The Goof. Hang on a second. But as I was saying, because of ADHD brain, I have a very easy time launching into long-winded tangents about virtually anything. And that, plus my natural love of writing and things of that nature, made it so I could comfortably argue just about anything in English class. So, whenever we had a thesis whenever we had a thesis assignment, I was just like, bro, my like Master Oogway, my time has come. Oh, is this message from the stars? Hide your girls. But, needless to say, I never got anything lower than an A in English class. Because your boy can write. Where is the invitation button? Oh, I think that's it. Alrighty. It occurs to me I've not sent a Discord invite in a while. This is usually, Faye Helmet's, realm. God bless Faye. She's my mod for the Discord server. She does the occasional other tasks in the channel too and everything like that. Y'all have heard a thing for the Discord server running as smoothly as it does, because I'm a bit of a grandpa when it comes to this app. I'm good with the basic stuffs, but the more advanced things, stuff that you don't do when you just browse every day. Oh, the big ass invite sticker was just staring me straight in the face. Oh well. There we go, Goof. Join us. Alright, as much as I love this song, we're just gonna move on to something next. Oh, this is a perfect opportunity. I know what to play while we're taking this little break. Y'all ever heard of Jean-Jacques Perry? Well, you're about to. Actually, score my existence. I intend to find a song that suits any possible scenario, any possible environment, any possible anything. And I'm well on my way to doing that. You could give me virtually any scenario, and I'm pretty confident I could find at least something that gets even in the ballpark of how to, you know, create that kind of vibe or something like that. I used to be part of my high school's drama team, and I was the one who scored the productions. I also, of course, did, to no one's surprise, prop design, but that was another thing I did too. But now, I think that was a nice enough break. I think we're gonna get back to work soon. Oh. I think Goof, I think I just saw you join the Discord server. Welcome! Happy to have you. Alrighty. Put pause on that. Ugh. Ugh. Let me just... There we go. Good gracious alive, look at all of that. Another side effect of proficient boxsmithing. It's all the dust that accumulates on your apron. Alrighty, we need something active but instrumental. And what are we feeling, chat? What are we feeling? I'm thinking maybe some... Let's see. We did Doom Eternal, we did Spicy Doom Eternal. Let's try some... Oh. I know what to play. You like Virtual Riot? Alright, back to it. We're in the middle of... Hang on a second. We're just... Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I can feel it. We're building back up now. Let's go. So, basically, as I was saying, this piece right here. We're gonna smack that dead center of the thing. We're gonna glue on the little sides of it right there. That's gonna be our little support piece. That's just gonna get it's gonna give this all the durability and things that it needs. That's the right size there. And, I remember now. The thing I was going to teach all of you. What happened to the other piece? That was just like this one. Oh, there it is. We're good. Excellent. So that goes there, and that goes on top of this. So we're going to use this. And let me go show you something interesting. So, there are many times as a boxsmith where you have pieces that are like this, that go over here, and you need to glue them. But that's a very thin hold. Sometimes the way to make this a little bit sturdier of a hold is to add an extra layer on top of it. So, we're going to take this piece right here, we're going to bisect it with the aid of our little ruler here. Basically how that works, it's going to just take this and lie it flat on top of it. Like so. And what this is going to do is it's going to give the glue a little bit more surface area to hold on to than if you were just gluing it onto the corner. Because by doing this, if you look here, we've effectively doubled the size of the corner. Welcome, Vanquished Raccoon. Glad to see you joined us. Basically, we're building a big-ass hammer. So, this side, we've essentially doubled the surface area. Now, we take this piece again, flip it on its side, take this, ShamWow, glue it all along. Look at that. Look at all of that room we have to glue now. Excellent. It's beautiful. So, we take this, and then we just connect the corner. Like so. And to make sure that the glue... now, to make sure that the glue connects only to the hot... to make sure that the hot glue only connects to the cardboard and not to my table, I'm moving it back and forth like this. Because hot glue really doesn't like things that are moving. If you notice, it holds onto the cardboard like it was supposed to, but even though the glue was in contact with the cutting mat, it did not hold on to the cutting mat because the glue was stationary. So the glue had time to... Because the cardboard was stationary, the glue had time to create its hold on it, to cure properly. But it was being constantly interrupted and wasn't able to fully harden properly before it cooled when it was on the table because I kept moving it back and forth. So that's something that could be helpful. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side here. I'm gonna take this, gloop, gloop, gloop the glue. Alrighty. Like so. Just shimmy, shimmy, shimmy it back and forth like that. This song actually takes me back to when I was just starting off boxsmithing. Because it was roughly around the time where I started boxsmithing, at least with the channel, where I started making boxsmithing for content, around the time where I first discovered this artist Virtual Riot. So, it's kind of interesting that we're almost full circle right back again. So, I'm gonna take this, gonna make sure that it fits properly right there. Looks like it does. We're gonna need another two pieces that are just like this one. We're gonna take some more cardboard here, slap it there, and just kind of gauge the size of it is. It's kind of convenient that we built this on a corner here, because that means I can just take my knife. Where is my knife? Just take the knife right there. Just chop into it like so. Perfect. Chop, chop, chop. I broke the hold on the glue, but that's fine. We'll create new glue. I have a near endless supply of glue, so there's nothing to worry about. Alright. I like the song, but not right now. Something else. No. 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 Alright, we're going back to Ultra Kill. Spicy Doom music. That's better. Alright. This piece. Glue it on there. Gabriel. Now dawns thy reckoning, and thy gore shall glisten before the temples of man. Creature of steel, my gratitude upon thee for my freedom. But the crimes thy kind have committed against humanity are not forgotten. And thy punishment is death. And yes, the goof, you are allowed another song request after this one plays. So, as I was saying, we've got another piece that's going to go on top of it for this side right here. We're going to trim it in a little bit, but before that, we need to take the other part of it, grab it, move this to the side, make sure it's not a problem. Notice we're progressively running out of space here, but that's fine because we are genius boxsmiths. So we can overcome any obstacle that we encounter. Yes. Yes, we can. So, just chop that right there. Move it to the other side. Make another big ass chop right there. I like to think sometimes that I have hockey, like from Ultra Kill. Not Ultra Kill, gracious. One Piece of getting my hyperfixations crossed. Like when I'm cutting with cardboard, the fact that I'm using a black blade makes it that much cooler to me. A huge One Piece fan, if you couldn't tell already. Now, because we've already done the demonstration, I don't feel the need to double up on these parts because I'm perfectly comfortable just gluing it on with the one piece right there. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold it right there. Never mind the fact that's a little bit long. Just hold it right there. Make sure it's sticking together. Reinforcing. Visualizing. Methodizing. Energizing. Ugh, as much as it pains me, I have to sit here and wait for this glue to hold. It's not fun! But it is necessary. Come on, if you could just cure already. I put you on the lower setting specifically so you could glue faster. If you would be so kind as to actually glue faster, I will be very, very grateful. Thank you kindly. Glue time. Glue time is almost done. Make sure I don't burn myself again. Yes. Yes. Alright, so that's about done. That's really good. Ow. Who would have thought my hot glue gun is actually hot? Pieces. Trim them. Beautiful. Come on, you fuck. Cut! Thank you. Boom. Look, it's even smiling at you. That's how you know it's good. Look at that. Got the support piece right there. Got the main piece right there. It's gonna go on top of it. Congratulations, we've used a box to make another fucking box. That's just how it be sometimes. Excellent job. Alrighty, next step. What are we doing? Glue. Glue again. Don't worry about that. Glue a third time. Apply. Okay, well, we have no choice but to wait for this to dry. Spring Ting asks, by any chance do you play Shadow Fight? Funny story about that. I did play Shadow Fight a long time ago. Back in middle school, that was like my favorite game of all time. Shadow Fight 2 specifically. I found the Windows download of it before they decided to remove it from Windows Store on my computer. And that was fun because it allowed me to basically play an outdated version of the game with my keyboard and mouse. And it was really fun. I got really good. I got as far as the game had progressed at that point. It doesn't have the end of the game. It has all the way up to like the final boss. I think Titan was his name or something like that. Yeah, it has the cliffhanger before that boss fight. But that entire section of content, not there. But no, I love Shadow Fight too. It's how I learned what a Kusarigama is, among other Japanese weapons. So yeah, a little bit of trivia. Another fun fact about that: my keybinds in Brawlhalla, which is another game that I play, are the default controls for Shadow Fight 2 on Windows, because I just found slash and heavy slash. Gracious, no, that's Guilty Gear. Light attack and heavy attack to be. It just worked better with my muscle memory to have those mapped to O and P. So that's why that's the case for me. This is done. You know what we're gonna do with this? It's simple. Gonna take this big boy. We can take this small boy right here, and we're just gonna decide which side. Oh, excuse me. Which side looks cooler? We're just gonna decide which side's cooler. I just think this. That's better. Just gonna take that. Just wait for the hammer to fall over there. Just gonna take this glue. Put it all over here like that. Plop on a whole bunch of it. Benefit of a big hot glue gun like this. Now this is what I call using your head. Also, Goof, go ahead and request the song that you wanted. While I'm waiting for this to dry, I'll play it once this is done drying. I can use my hands again. In the meantime, enjoy the Requiem motif. Play motif. Ah, fuck. Can't believe it's... Ouch. Ow, ow. That's still hot. Ah. Alright. New plan. The Goof says blank looks cooler. I agree. That's what we're doing here. I guess it's true what they say, great minds think alike. Alright, we're just gonna take this other rectangle I have here and glue that and act as a buffer, so maybe it'll make it easier for the other piece to glue onto it and stick and stay. One can only hope. MF Doom rap snitches. Snitches, kishes. Ooh, MF Doom, nice. Alright, let's go. Rap snitches, kishes. Instrumental. Here we go. Very nice. I really should listen to more MF Doom. Lyrical genius. Alright, so what I'm doing here, because this stuff dries quickly, I'm just making a big old glob of it right there so that it dries a lot slower. Because it's a massive mound of cardboard now. And I just put that in roughly the center where it is. And we just try what we just did again. Speaking of doing things again, it was only a couple days ago that I realized that one song from SpongeBob where Mr. Krabs is like, yes, hello, I would like for you to play that song again, is that because you see, I never really watched SpongeBob as a kid. I was more of a PBS kid, if you know what I'm saying. But I always thought that song, I think it was like Electric Zoo or something like that. I always thought that song came from something else. I didn't know that was the actual song. I once thought about that, the meme, play that song again, and when it played, you know, the actual song that came from the show, the I thought that was an edit. It was only around the fifth different video asking for the original that I learned, no, that's actually where the song comes from. A beep 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 boop boop bop is that's it. That's the one right there. Alrighty, so look at this. Beautiful, isn't it? Got a wonderful start. We're gonna move some of these little bits right here. Shit. That was a lot. Alrighty, so look at this. Look at the progress we have made. It's beautiful, isn't it? We've got a really good proof of concept and everything like that. It's gonna look really nice once it's done. But I think we're going to stop here for today because it is now 3:15 in the morning where I am, and I am tired. You've probably noticed a noticeable drop in my energy, and I want to be at my best when I'm streaming for y'all. So, we are going to resume this project tomorrow. In the meantime, because I promised a certain adventurer that we would watch in the next stream, doesn't appear that he is here right now. Ugh. But he wanted us to show a duel he had with his teacher. With cardboard swords. I blessed his weapon for combat, and he dueled his PE teacher. It was cool. So, I have held off on watching that video, so today we are... Wait, you know what? The more I think about it, I think he would want to see my reaction to that video live, so we're gonna bend the rules a little bit, and I'm just gonna hold off on that until he's back. Until he's actually tuned into the stream. So we're probably just gonna do that tomorrow then. Alright, well, thank you all so much for watching. The stream did not necessarily go according to plan, but, you know, sometimes that's for the better. So, thank you all so much for watching. I wish you all a wonderful evening. I pray that your pillows are cold when you sleep on them tonight. Drink lots of water, happy crafting, and I will see you in